Hi, this is Mel. I hope all of you are doing awesome. Today I'm going to do a paranormal, supernatural ghost story. In this story, there's a character named Gina. Gina is a beautiful young lady. She's just 22 years old and she got her first job in a city. Now, this is a very old city where a lot of battle had taken place. Anyway, this job is just for 1 or 2 years, so this is her first job. So she's not even sure that how long she's going to stay in this city, but she's very excited to have her first job, and she heard that the city is really beautiful, even though it is still a bit old, but it's still very beautiful. So she couldn't wait to go there, and the job was supposed to start in a month. Now she tried to look for a housing from far away from the place she's residing right now, which is another city and quite far from this place. So, but she had no luck doing that. So she got in touch with one of the real estate agent, and the agent had no problem finding her place, since the agents always have connections where the vacant places. So this was a pretty old building, and this town, most of the buildings are very, very old, and they were not renovating much, and the streets were very, not very good. Not very good looking, because most of the cities, big cities, and that's the problem with the living in the downtown, because the houses are really historic houses, very old, and the roads are really not good. But countryside is much better. So anyway, so the job was at the city, so she had no choice but to go there. So she came and she stayed in a motel for a couple of days, and then she met the real estate agent, and that was a nice lady. And then she went to see the place. Now she saw the place and it was okay, because it's going to be only for a year or two until she makes a decision whether she's going to stay there or move away, go or take another job. Anyway, so she took the place. The rent wasn't so horrible. It was just $1,000 something per month. So she took it. It was 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and it was furnished such a way that whatever you need, not so much, just had a bed, had a table and few chairs for eating in one corner of the living room, and another corner there was an old couch on the table. So the agent said, well, the previous owner has left all these items, and if you choose you can keep it, and if you don't want it, let us know, we'll just haul it out. Gina did not have anything. She said, okay, I'll move tonight. And all she had, she went to her motel and she got 2 boxes. That's all her belonging, because she didn't want to bring too much stuff. So she brought 2 boxes. So she just moved in. She said, I'll just get my boxes. While the agent was still hanging around, she took an Uber and went and got 2 boxes and came back to the building. And then the agent said that, so I assume you're going to keep this furniture. And she said, that's fine. And she looked at the bed. The bed was very good condition. Bed wasn't broken or anything. And so she said, okay, I'll just take this, because I don't have anything at the moment and I'm not going to buy anything. I'm just gonna go to the store and get few things what I need. And she said, Selena said, well, Miss Gina, let me show you the kitchen. And she went to the kitchen, and she opened up the cupboard and kitchen. Everything was clean. They cleaned up good for new tenant, and said, previous tenant has left these bowls and dishes, and if you want them, you may have it. And there's some fork and knives, all this kind of things. are there. If you don't want it, I'll just ask the maintenance guy to come and just clean up and take everything. And she said, well, you can keep it. I mean, I don't have any problem. I don't have anything at the moment, so I have to buy everything, including plates and everything. And then she said, well, this looks pretty good and clean, and I'll just keep it. And she said, well, if you want, you can just throw it in the dishwasher and then just have it freshly washed again. It looks clean, but if you want. And so she put everything. This was her a time for her to test out the dishwasher as well, if it's working or not. So she threw everything in the dishwasher, and actually there was some soap too, and she just said, well, it seems like someone just left and there's everything here. And she said, yeah, the previous lady, she I guess she left, and she left all this thing, didn't want to take it with her. I was like, well, okay, that's great for me because I don't have anything at the moment. And then so then the lady said, okay, let me show you the thermostat here, and it's right here outside the bedroom. So this is just one bedroom. So one bedroom and another living room. Living room was divided into two portions. One had one table and four chairs. And she said, well, do you want this chair table? And she said, yeah, great. I mean, this will make a great dining table for me. I don't have any problem with it. And the chair and the tables look pretty sturdy. They were like very old oak wood, so they were not the new kind and the weak kind. These are like very strong. So she said, Selena said, these furnitures are really old but antique and very good quality. So if you don't want it, I can just call the Goodwill and they'll just take it and we'll just haul it out there. And she said, no, they just look fine. I'm just cleaning it up a little bit. So she showed her the thermostat and she said, well, you're going to be paying for the heat and the cooling, so you decide how much you want to put it. But if I were you, I would put it around 72 to 74. That saves a little bit money. If you keep it in the 70, you will see it a little extra. So yeah, if you keep it around 74, 75, if you don't have problem, then you see it will be like $50 a month. And if you keep it at 70, and then it will be around $100 a month, because Selena lived in the same building, so she knew, what's the roughly figure comes. And she was like, I'm great with that. I'll just keep it at 75 because, see, I don't have much blanket and stuff. I didn't bring anything, so yeah, I'm fine with that. And she said, Selena said, well, take a look at here. And she went and saw the bed, and the bed had pillows, blankets, and everything. She said, all you need to do is just haul it out to the laundromat, which is downstairs at the basement. Just haul it out there and just give it a fresh wash with some a laundry detergent. And then she took her to the pantry, which was a little pantry inside the bathroom. It was a cute little pantry. And she said, look, all this soap here, you can use that. Looks like a good soap. And she's like, wow, great, everything is here. Anyway, so Selena left, and Zina put it at 75, the thermostat. She wanted to save money because this is her first job. And then she just started cleaning up and sweeping and everything. And there was already broom, mop, everything there. So she just swept up, and then this is an old city, but the beauty of it is that it had all kinds of stores and eating place, just everything downstairs as soon as she got down from the buildings, the downtown. So she didn't have any problem to find any kind of eating space like Pizza Hut or McDonald's or restaurants or grocery store. Everything was there, whatever kind of food. There was some Indian grocery store, Indian restaurant. So, and this city where she got the place rented actually had a college, one of the biggest college campus. And so near the campus, there were everything available. So she was very happy about it, that she wouldn't have problem finding food or getting grocery or ordering food, and the place seemed pretty quiet and nice, and she was just happy. And there were plenty of, like, about 24 hours Walmart. So she just got into Uber and went cruising down the city, and then she got down at Walmart and picked up some few things she needed. Even though the place had everything, she just picked up some food and stuff, and then she came back and cleaned out the fridge and put everything, all her food in there. And then she also picked up some fresh fruits, vegetables, and some pizza and some Indian food, things like what she's going to eat. And she came back in Uber after doing all those groceries, and the place had few grocery bags, like handmade embroidered bags hanging in the closet, and she was so happy. She was like, wow, this is like everything is here, and she just couldn't believe that everything was right there. Anyway, so then she ate, and she brought from Walmart, she got a bed in the bag and a pillow, because she didn't want to sleep on that bed without doing laundry and everything, and she didn't feel like doing laundry that same day. She was very tired, so she slept on the floor in the bedroom. She slept on the floor in a sleeping bag and a pillow, and she kept the temperature at 75. Around 3 a.m. she got up feeling so frozen, like the room was so frozen, the place was so frozen. So she got up, and then she made some warm tea, and she looked at the thermostat. The thermostat was down at 70. And she was like, whoa, how did that happen? How did that get down to 70? I kept it at 75, and there's a little door to the thermostat area. And she closed the door, and she said, how did that happen? So she took out her cell phone and took a picture before she turned it to 75 again, just to make sure that she's not sleepwalking or dreaming or anything. And then she drank some warm tea, walked around, and put on a sweater. And this sweater was in the closet, and she just dusted it out and wore it because she was very cold. So then she went back to sleep again. And then around 6 o'clock, she woke up frozen, and she went to see, and she could not believe her eyes. She was like, oh my God, I turned this thing into 75, and now it's back to 68. So she took another picture, and she said, tomorrow, then she looked at the phone, and she's like, well, this is tomorrow. This is like, that was only almost 7 o'clock. So like, oh my God, I need to quickly take a hot shower and go to the office. So she quickly took a warm shower, got dressed, and ate something from the fridge, some croissant or bread she ate it. And then as soon as she was going to go out the door, and she looked at the table, and on the table there was a plate, and it looked like there was a croissant eaten from the plate. There was some crumbs on the plate, and there was a little teacup and a plate. And she was like, when did I do that? I didn't do that. I don't remember doing that. Because when she drank her tea, she just walked around and drank it and washed it up and put it on the just put it on the side, on top of a towel to drain the water. And she was like, well, I don't know, I'm dreaming stuff. So she got down to the office, and she said that, well, this is what happened here. I have it in my phone. Every time I put the thermostat to 75, it's becoming 70. So you guys need to send somebody to fix that because I'm freezing there. So they said, okay, we'll come down. And then Selena sent some people, the maintenance people. They came and they looked around, and there was nothing wrong with it. So they still put it back to 75, and then they came back about 4 or 5 times throughout the day while they are working in another apartment. They came back to check to make sure that it is at 75, not going down to 70. And then they took picture also and showed it to her. Look, this is always a 75, this is did not go to 70. She said, okay, I don't know what happened. So they said, okay, if it happens at night time, you make sure take a picture and keep it so we'll know what's going on. So they, oh sure. And then she came back, and then after that she got her food and everything, and she ate. And after she ate, she was really tired, and she went took all the clothes, all the bed sheet and everything from the bed and blankets and everything, and she washed them throughout the whole day. So she got very tired of sweeping, dusting, cleaning, washing, cleaning up the bathroom and everything. She wanted everything to be perfect because she really liked this place, and dusting all the tables, chairs. And there were on a table in a corner, there's an old-fashioned TV, very old-fashioned TV, black and white. And she turned it on. Sometimes it was color, sometimes turning to black and white. She's like, okay, whatever, I don't watch that much TV, but it's okay as long as it came free. So she had it running so she doesn't feel bored or lonely. Anyway, then after all the work's done, she did the bed nicely and she was happy about the bed. And then she got inside the bed and it was real comfortable, the covers and everything. She was like, oh, okay, I'm going to have a comfy sleep. And then she fall asleep. Around 3 a.m. she got up, the same freezing, and she right away went to see the thermostat. She saw, wow, it went to 68. Then she put it up to 75 and went back to sleep again. And then again 6 o'clock, as she woke up, the same thing happened. So she was like, what is going on? And this time the thermostat, that little door was open. So she put it at 75, went back to the office, complained. So the maintenance guy came up and he gave her a little lock with 2 keys. Said, okay, after you put it in 75, you lock it so you know nobody could change it or you didn't change it. He was just trying to being funny. And she was like, okay, very funny. So she took the lock and the key. And so all day went and she was happy watching TV, this, that. And during the day, the few minor things happened which she didn't pay much attention. And she thought, well, I don't know, maybe I did it. Sometimes she found a little piece of cake in a plate on the table, or sometimes teacup, things like that. Sometimes TV getting on itself, or sometimes you watch TV, the TV is getting off by itself. So, but she thought these are all old things. I mean, I cannot count on it because they're just old, so they're coming back up and off automatically. So then, as she was sitting on the bed, thinking about all these things, and she took the TV. TV was in the living room. She just took it to the bedroom and put it on top of a dresser. There was an old dresser, and then there were some old clothes inside the dresser. So she took out all the clothes and put it in a basket. There was some laundry basket, old basket. She put it in a trash bag, put it in a basket, and put it in a living room closet to just give it away to the Goodwill. She thought, oh, what am I going to do with this clothes? Or she thought, okay, I'll take it to the laundromat and clean it and see if I can use anything. But anyway, she just kept it there for think about it later. And then she put her clothes. fixed up all her clothes in the dresser, and then she put the little TV on top of the dresser, and the TV was just on, and she wasn't watching it, and she was just planning out all the things what she gonna do and what are the things she has to buy, things like that. As she was doing that, she saw the dresser, the top drawer just open, and then it closed by itself. Gina, her mouth becomes so wide open. She was just like flabbergasted. She's like, what just happened? The dresser opened by itself and then got closed by itself. So she was like, there is no wind. How did the dresser? It was just not explainable. She just did not think this. So she thought something very funny here. And then after some time, she heard noise in the bathroom. The faucet started by itself and was running, and then it got turned off by itself. It was like something very creepy about this place. So at night time, she put it on 75 and literally locked it with the little door, with the key. She locked it. And then 3 a.m. she found that the door is open and the lock and key is hanging, and it's turned to 68, and the table had a little piece of cake eaten, and the big croissant box she had, the box was sitting on the counter on the kitchen, like somebody took out the croissant, took it from the plate and ate. And then she saw the teapot had tea, and the cup and plate was on the table, like somebody had drank the tea. This was making her very uncomfortable. This is all unexplainable things, and she does not do that. She never ate at night time. She did not believe in eating at night time. She finished always her last meal around 8, the maximum 9. Never after that. She would just drink water. But sometimes, like early morning, if she wakes up, feels cold, she'll drink some tea. But anyway, so then she locked it and went to sleep. Around 6 o'clock she got up. It was so cold, and it was open, and the lock and key was hanging outside, and this was open. So she changed it and closed the lock. And before she did that, she had her cell phone on and she recorded everything, and she was taking pictures and recording all the events, like the faucet being open and the drawer getting open and the food on the table and the teacup. So her cell phone was on, and then as she closed it, she saw these buildings were very old, about 100 years old. So the windows were very different. The window had a windowsill, like it was wide, coming out a lot, so you could literally sit in there like a sofa, and you could see outside sitting on it. And the outside was very nice to watch outside, because outside had a main road, but sometimes it could get very noisy because there were a lot of ambulance and motorcycle going and car going till late night. And since there was a university, such as screaming kids going at night time, Gina didn't mind because she liked being with people. She didn't like very quiet place because this was not her kind thing. She just graduated from college, so she likes that college life and noise. So she saw an old lady, like a 60 or 70-year-old. She couldn't tell because she could not see the face. The face was looking out the window and sitting on the windowsill, but she was looking outside, but she was talking, and she said, "Don't turn that up to 75. It is so hot. I feel so hot. Cannot live here." And then she said, "Who are you?" how did you get here? This is my apartment. And then the old lady said, well, I am Sarah, and I live here. And you tell me, who are you? And she said, you live here? I just moved in yesterday. She said, well, nice. But can't you see all these things are mine? I live here. She said, yeah, I see everything, a lot of things here, the chair, table, TV, and all the things. She said, well, I live here, and I'm Sarah. And she said, well, they rented me the place, and they said nobody lives here. She said, well, I live here, you can see, and then you're making the place too hot. I like it 70 or 68, but I don't like it 75. I feel so hot. She said, okay, I'm so sorry. I will put it to 70. She said, okay. And then said, well, I didn't know that you live here. I'm sleeping on your bed, so where would you sleep? She said, never mind, I'll just sit and drink my tea. You can sleep on that bed. She said, okay, thank you so much. And then she went and she slept, and she was thinking out, how did she get here? Maybe she has a key or something. So then morning, she took a shower and ate her food, and she did not see Sarah anywhere. And she went to the office, and in the meantime, when she was recording the temperature changing, everything is recorded on her cell phone because she forgot to turn it off when she was talking to Sarah. So she showed them everything, and they did not see a lady or hear anything when she started it. Nothing was there. So on the recording, nothing was there. Only thing was there is Zina talking, and it did not recorded anything that the old lady Sarah was saying, or did not show her or anything. So they just said, well, it's just you talking. And then she said, well, she was there. And well, did you see her in the morning? She said, no, she wasn't there in the morning. And then she showed them the picture of all the table and the things, and the half-eaten cake and the tea and the dresser in the bedroom opening and closing. So then they said, okay, we'll look into it, who lived there and everything, and we'll get back to you. So she said, okay. Then she left, and then a little bit later, about an hour later, she received a phone call on her phone, and this phone on the other end was Selena. Selena says, Miss Gina, I would like to inform you that the previous tenant lived there was Sarah McCarthy, and she actually gotten very sick, and then she seems like she had passed away. And she's like, in this apartment? And she said, yes. I said, well, I was not told this thing. Said, we are very sorry, but we usually don't release this information because, see, everywhere there's somebody will die. If this is how people take the places, nobody will ever find any place. They said, that's true, but I cannot live there anymore because I can see her and she does not want it to be very hot. Said, yeah, I can understand you being afraid. Said, afraid? What do you mean afraid? I am so freaked out. The dresser is opening, the faucet in the bathroom starting itself. There's half-eaten cake on the table, my croissants are outside, the tea is on the table, the TV is coming on and off anytime it wants. What do you mean afraid? If you lived here, you probably have a heart attack. She said, yes, yes, I understand. So what we can do is we can find you another place in the building. She said, no, 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 I do not want to stay in this building. You have to find me in any your other property location. I said, okay, okay, we'll try to find you as soon as we can. In the meantime, if you don't feel comfortable, we will pay for your motel staying until we find you. She said, oh, thank you so much. Can you send somebody so I can go there and gather my things? I'm just afraid to go there now. And then they said, oh, sure, sure. They sent maintenance guy, and she went and she gathered her 2 boxes, and they called her Uber, and then she went to a motel. And then in 2 days, they found her a place in a different building, and she went there, and this place was nice, clean, totally empty. And they said, okay, nobody lived here, and the previous tenant was a college student, and he left. She's like, oh, thank you. And then she went to the Walmart and got a cot and 2 chairs and a folding table and some things for the kitchen and some things for the bathroom, and got a pizza and came back and settled down with everything, and she had a restful sleep at night. And she said, wow, I should have known when all the things were there, including the bed and all the things in the kitchen, that somebody must have left everything and died. So this was the first time Gina had encountered a real life ghost, but it was a nice ghost. It was just a nice old lady who didn't like to be very hot. So thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share, and I'll see you with many, many more.